All right, so this is my 2012 G37x. It is an auto. They did not make any all-wheel drives in manual, which to me is not a big deal. I know a lot of people are, you know, die-hard manual guys, and I understand that. I like driving manual, but at the time with where I live and such, I needed all-wheel drive. So that is what it is. It's got about 140K miles on it right now, which is kind of crazy, but I've had very little maintenance on it other than standard maintenance and a couple axles that were probably my fault anyways. I have had hardly any problems, so she's treated me very nice, and I think it's a decent looking car after, you know, 11 years, because yeah, 11 years, yeah, it's been a minute. So yeah, I bought the car at 100K and it was completely stock, and so everything here is something I've done to it. So let's just start in the front. All the carbon is from Seibon. Yeah, I don't know, they just have, I think, some decent carbon products, and that is what I went with. So the fenders here are not exactly OEM. I mean, other than the, you know, vent there, they're pretty close, but have the carbon fender and hood. Had to go with the vents. I've seen some that are just the OEM style, but I don't know, it looks too basic to me, and if you're going to go with the carbon, might as well go with, you know, some vents. So I have the hood pins just because I felt like the OEM latch with the underneath of the carbon hood just was not going to hold in there, and I've read too many times that, you know, the thing flies up on you. So I just did the hood pins, even though that was a little bit scary cutting into, you know, the hood, but I have liked having those. I have these GTR Style Headlights, which I go back and forth. I almost want to say I should have gone with the Halo headlights when I look at other people's cars, but these are, obviously, they look good, but I think the Halos maybe look better, but I don't know, it could go either way. So I just have a gloss black front grille with a LED emblem, which is just a nice little touch. It's funny, most people that aren't into cars, that's what they notice is the emblem, which is funny. But I just like little details like that that set it apart, because most people don't, you know, have that. So the fog lights are blacked out, just another little thing. I don't like chrome, obviously. So then the wheels, they are ESR SR08s. They're 19 by 9.5, both front and rear, plus 22, I want to say. They might be plus 15, but I believe they're plus 22. I'll double check. I'll put everything, a list of everything in the description of what, you know, where and what everything is. So, but I believe they're plus 22s. Yeah, and the fitment's pretty good. Like in the front here, that's damn near perfect to me. In the rear, there's quite a bit of poke, which is okay, but when I go onto coilovers, I'm gonna roll the fenders and drop it lower, because I mean, that looks decent. I'm not trying to be slammed by any means. That looks decent to me, but that's not okay back there. So I'm just on Swift lowering springs, which I need to be on coilovers. So that is the next thing. But yeah, I'm just on Swift springs with, I guess, yeah, I'm just on Swift springs. So it's decent fitment. But then I have the Powerstop Big Brake Kit, both front and rear, which is probably my favorite thing. If you had to, or if I had to say a favorite thing, it'd probably be the Big Brake Kit, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know, I just, every time I drive, that's what I notice is the stopping power. It's crazy the difference between that and stock. So back here I have the Seibon Duckbill trunk with the wow, I can't even think, with the backup camera. And then I have these, I don't remember where I got these, but the Halo Taillights, and my brother put me onto these. I didn't even know these, you know, were out there until he put me on. But I mean, again, this is probably top 3 favorite things on the car is the taillights. The other ones just look so outdated, and yeah, these just look so much better. It would look like an 11-year-old car if, you know, you had the stock ones, in my opinion. So these just look so much better. And then down here I have, this is the only thing that isn't from Seibon, that's carbon, is these, is the diffuser. It's from AutoKitsx. I think it just adds quite a bit of, you know, aggressive styling there. So love that thing. And then the exhaust is just, I have Berk resonated test pipes to an ISR Y pipe. I still have the resonators on, and then I have no muffler, so it's just from the resonator to straight back. So it's nothing crazy. It's not a, you know, custom exhaust or anything, but it sounds pretty good in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good sound. But I think that's about it. I guess I have the Stillen long tube cold air intakes that go to the front of the grill, but that's not really anything. I've obviously tinted the windows. What else? I guess I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, but the caps on there, the carbon caps there on the mirrors, and yeah, I think that is everything on the outside. It's pretty simple. I haven't, to me, the car is fairly stock. So I guess I've got a couple things on the inside as well. Don't really do a whole lot to the inside, but I have this trim kit, this carbon trim kit from, again, I'll put it in the description, I don't remember where, but for most of the chrome pieces, I would rather it be, you know, anything other than chrome. So that's around the car and into the back. And then I have the shift knob is carbon, and then these paddle shifters, I don't know how well you can see them, but the paddle shifters are carbon as well. And then the steering wheel from Nelson Racing, they did a really good job with the white stripe and the cutoff bottom, or the flat bottom. I think it looks really good. Obviously, whenever you drive, you're putting your hands on the steering wheel, so I really like that thing. It's been super nice to drive with. So yeah, obviously I'm a big black and carbon guy, but yeah, again, nothing crazy. My setup is not nearly what a lot of other guys is, and a lot of other guys are making some serious power. So, but yeah, I like what I got going on here, and got still some plans for it. So yeah, but this is my setup. Okay, so I've also got quite a few things here that are for the car, not just, you know, what's on the car. That's not, you know, how I want it to be. I've still got some plans for it and such. The main thing is this supercharger kit from, it's really Stillen's kit, but it's the Soho Motorsports air-to-air conversion kit as well. So I have that, and I have, you know, like, this is the oil cooler. The transmission cooler is somewhere up in here as well. I have obviously like 1200cc injectors. The what is that? The 650. It's out of the Hellcat. The same fuel pump as the Hellcats. Obviously, like the gauges, different stuff like that. So I've tried to think through everything. I've like the upgraded pulley as well and stuff like that for the supercharger kit. So I've tried to think that all the way through, not just, you know, Soho's kit, but also some upgraded things as well, because my goal at least is to make 600 wheel horsepower. We'll see if I can get there. I've seen other people, you know, get pretty close, but that is my goal. So we'll see if we can get there. But so it's the supercharger kit. I mean, I have coilovers for both front and rears, the sway bars, just a couple axles there. I don't know. I've got quite a few parts, like upper and lower control arms, end links, and just some different things for the suspension to be as adjustable as possible. In some of these boxes, I don't know. I'd have to go through these and see what's where, but yeah, basically it's a bunch of suspension stuff and the supercharger kit, which is the main thing, which I've been debating whether I should try to do that, or because I've never done anything like that, and I feel like that could get fairly technical and fairly, you know, there's things, if you fuck up, I mean, the kit, it's not a cheap fix, and I'm not, you know, I don't have a lot of money in general to spend on cars, so I have been debating whether to let a shop do it, but then the question is what shop and who do I trust and shit like that. So I don't know, we'll see, but that is definitely a, you know, goal of mine in the next year or so to make that a thing. So yeah, but it's really, yeah, the supercharger kit and some suspension stuff, excuse me, that is yeah, on the list of things to do for this thing. So we'll see. It's definitely in a good place. It looks good, but it's still obviously fairly stock. So I've got some big plans for it, so we'll see what we can get into